Hi guys, it's been a while since last time we talked about the home insurance revolution. Right now, it's really, we have a crisis to say the least. There are wildfire everywhere in California, in Northern California, in Southern California. I heard that even in Irvine, they have wildfire. And then I guess in Orange County, I guess what is in the south is bad is that the temperature is high, can easily hit 100 degree, and that really make it worse. Northern California, not so much a problem, but it's still bad. But you know what? Where is the worst place with most wildfire? I heard the other day it's in state of Oregon. There are a total of 28 wildfires going on. So imagine that. Remember that we had a four steps of revolution, home insurance revolution. The first one is insurance stop dropping policies, stop making policies uninsurable. So that's the first step. The second step is to have a risk sharing model or splitting risk, sharing risk. And number three is to have Costco of Insurance. That's the topic we'll be talking about. So basically, the idea is that we want to share the risk, but how? If we don't do that carefully, we might have a disaster. Think about this. We have never, well, at least to the large scale, we don't have several insurance carriers share the coverage for the same home. We have that technically we do, right? Technically, we have a fair plan, but a fair plan works differently. For example, if you belong to a state farm, and the state farm kick you out and says we're not going to renew you, and then you, after looking around, and eventually you go to fair plan, right? The state farm, every time you pay the premium, state farm will be the middleman. You will pay the money, pay the premium to state farm, but state farm don't keep it. State farm actually eventually send the money to the fair plan to have a risk pool, right? Whatever you call it, like a private syndicate, right? So there's a fair plan. It's a whole, just like any other insurance carriers, just like a State Farm, just like farmers, just like all state, right? There's one legal entity that handles all the policies. Obviously, for each individual families, this fair plan will take care of everything. Like same thing as the everything under the sun, right? Remember I said it last time. So a fair plan, while it's a risk sharing model, it's not really when it comes to operationalize. It's not really risk sharing because we still have one legal entity to take care to write the policies for everybody. Everybody, who doesn't have the regular market coverage. So we have to figure out something new. Otherwise, we can easily break the revolution. Will not make it. Will be a disaster. Will be a nightmare. Okay. Why? Let me tell you a few reasons. Number one, um, if you ask a few insurers coming together to write policies for the same home, problem can come. First one is that the overlapping coverage. The two insurance carriers may write different policies, but they cover the same thing. So there may be overlapping. Both may cover wildfire, both may cover vandalism, both may cover smoke and windstorm, everything, right? So if you don't do that carefully, overlapping coverage will be one. The second one is coverage gap. Just like coverage overlapping, we may have a coverage gap, meaning that the two insurance carriers, or even more insurance carriers, they may both skip one particular coverage. For example, none of them cover the vandalism, none of them cover the street crime, theft, a burglary, those kind of things. So that will be a coverage gap. And then the third issue is that the different carriers may have different underwriting standard, and that would also easily confuse the policyholders. They may say, okay, oh, this carrier says that well, they have a different underwriting appetite, right? And then the other carriers have a different set of appetite, so people will be totally confused. Number four is that sometimes we may have renewal issues. One carrier has decided not to renew you. Next year, when it's time to renew, the other will renew you. So there's an inconsistency all over the places. The next problem is that the delayed claim, because we have insurance company. There's so many insurance carriers there, and then you may easily get confused. And you, when there is a fire, when there's a loss, and you file the claim, but it will be delayed because the thing. The next one is that insurance carriers will be getting into the dispute. They will say, okay, this is not my responsibility, that's yours. And the other one said same thing to this one. So there's a dispute. So this is another thing. And finally, the premium is likely to increase. Why? Not because the premium is more because the different additional administration cost. Because each carriers will have their own administration, and then that will cost extra. So those are just a few things that we can fully imagine. Just like you don't have to be a genius to figure out this problem. What's the solution? The solution is to have a Costco of insurance. Basically, we will start at the marketplace, will be a platform. The insurance on the supply side will be different insurance carriers will join this Costco of insurance, and the same thing for the consumer side. Policyholders will join that, become a member. We pay some membership fees, and then so that's the way to keep it. Then that's possible to make it entirely possible for the different carriers, different consumers with different need will come together. Everything may have a work out. Okay, there are different ways of doing this, but everything is based on the same platform, same marketplace. Just like a kind of like Obamacare is a marketplace. We put the suppliers and the consumers together to work on the health insurance. Same thing for this for the home insurance. We need a Costco insurance, and then it has to be membership based. It has to be paid, otherwise nobody's taking responsibility. We have to make it people commit and come together, and then we can work things out. There are several things that we can work out. The first one is that we have a syndicate. Then the easiest one is to have insurance versus reinsurance, meaning that for this particular home, who were kicked out by the State Farm and now is in a fair plan. Then we have, let's say we just have two insurance are interested in carrying it. So this consumers will present his or her case, everything about that I need to know, the insurance need to know about his home. So like when the building is built, when was last time electricity is updated, when is last time the roofing and the plumbing system is updated. So everything will come together. We will show this all the document this that will be presented by the insurance consumers, and then that consumer information will be available to all the members from the insurance carriers. And then they'll look at it and then they can talk about this. And then the first one, the simplest model is to have one insurance, another is co-insurance, a reinsurance. So let's say two insurance carriers, one will be acting as the insurance carrier for covering the whole home, but another insurance will act as a reinsurance just to cover that whatever left. Let's say 80% of the insurance carrier will cover 80%, the next 20% will be covered, picked up by the reinsurance. This reinsurance could be another insurance company, but a lot of it's easy for the insurance company to get a license to be a reinsurer. So that way, we will have more insurance, more reinsurance, and then come into the same market. That's one easiest way to do that. The second way to do that is that to have a master policy. So instead of uh, uh, different insurance carriers getting into dispute, we will have a leading insurance company, insurance carrier, to be the master policy, and then the others in that master policy will specifically telling us that which insurance carrier is covering which part. Ideally, in my mind, the best way is to divide it by the home parts. For example, one insurance is just to cover nothing but the roof, another is cover nothing but the kitchen, and then the next one is cover nothing but the bedroom or bathroom, whatever, so on. Why? Because this one will have a specialty, and with the specialty, we have economy of scale. When it comes to economy scale, easily people always think about China, such a big country. Do we have an economy scale? But the economy scale can come from specialization. So this is the way to do that. If we can split insurance companies into specialists, into roof coverage, into bathroom coverage, into chimney, into swimming pool, you know, those kind of things, carpooling, everything. So that way, they will have a specialty. So that's the second way of doing that. I'm gonna stop here. We'll do that next time.